What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to bring you guys a deck profile of a deck that I've just been really excited to pick up and play, max out, all that. This is like my favorite deck, my favorite archetype, RYZEALs. But to be specific, RYZEAL toys. Now this is the deck that I decided to play at YCS. I wish I was able to play my current build at the YCS, but nonetheless, I just wanted to show it to you today and also show you a few combos that you can do with the deck at the end of the video. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Without further ado, let's get into the deck list. First up, we got the guy himself, Triple Ice, one of the best ones out of the three. His effect allows you to send one card from the hand of field to the graveyard in order to special summon him. Or when he's normal summon, you can special summon a RYZEAL monster from deck. But if you special summon him by sending a card to the graveyard, you're now locked into rank 4 XYZs from the extra deck. This card is broken. All these cards is broken. This is one of the main reasons. This card in specific was one of the main reasons I wanted to pick up the deck. They remind me of Mega Man characters. But yes, we are playing Triple Ice. You know, I had to max him out. Very nice. Next up on the list, Triple X. Each one of these guys are equally as broken as the other one. So this is the one that allows you to special summon himself by sending a XYZ monster from deck to graveyard. But if you do that, you're locked into rank 4 XYZs. When he's normal summoned to special summon, you add one Fire Thunder from deck to hand. So typically when you special summon him, you'll be sending your aggregator. I'm pretty sure you guys know that by now, but for those of you that don't, just explain it. But this card is just as broken as Ice and the next guy coming up. So yes, you gotta run Triple Ice, you gotta run Triple X, and you gotta run 3 of the next guy. And next up on the list, we have Triple Sword RYZEAL. This card reminds me of Zero from Mega Man. I really love this archetype. I can't stop saying it enough. Like, I'm a fanboy for this archetype. Shit is fire. His effects are, if you have a RYZEAL monster on the field or in graveyard, you can special summon from the hand. But if you special summon that way, you can only special summon rank 4 XYZ monsters from the extra deck. And then he has the effect that if he's normal summoned to special summon, you can add one light pyro monster from your deck to your hand. Gotta run Triple Sword, gotta run Triple X, gotta run Triple Ice. The Trinity, broken. And then lastly, we play one Node RYZEAL. His effect basically says that if there's an XYZ monster on your field or in graveyard, you can special summon him. But if you special summon him that way, you're locked into rank 4 XYZs, etc., etc. You know the clauses and all the other cards. His other effect reads that you can send one card from hand or field to graveyard to special summon a RYZEAL monster from your graveyard to the field. But the effects are negated. And you have to special summon the monster in defense position, which doesn't really matter because you're going to use it for XYZ fodder anyway. But he's a great extender and he synergizes really well with the toy cards. So that's why we run it in here. And he's another name. Sometimes you just want or need another name. So yeah. Next up on this list, I played 2 toy soldier and 1 toy tank. For the YCS, I was playing 3, but I just didn't like bricking on 3. I'm really liking this ratio right now. Sometimes I actually want to cut the toy soldier down to 1, so I will be testing it and just seeing how I like it. This engine is just too broken and too free in this variant, and I like that with toy soldier, you can do a lot of combos with Ice. If you open up Ice in toy box, like you can do some crazy plays, or if you just open up double box, you can do crazy plays. So I'm going to show you guys some of those plays at the end of the video, but I'm liking this engine for right now. You can also tribute this guy to special summon a RYZEAL and get some of the other effects going if you didn't use like one of the other ones during the turn. And this guy can search you out a level 4 light monster when toy box is on the field. So it's just too crazy. That's about it for our RYZEAL engine and then also our toy engine. So we're going to get into the hand traps now. So next up on the list for hand traps, I'm running Triple Ash Blossom. Gotta run this card, just too good. Like Ash lined up with another like hand trap is just too good. So 2 hand traps and a 1 card starter is just like very crippling for your opponent. Typically you'll like open up with a handful of different hand traps and like a 1 card starter. I don't even know what I'm talking about. Ash is pretty standard, but yeah. Next up on the list, I ran the brothers Haruya and Fualos. I only decided to run 1 and 1, and then in the side I'm doing 2 and 2. Just so that way whatever deck I'm playing against, I can like side accordingly. These aren't great in every single matchup, being that the meta is what it is. Like, you know, they are great going into every matchup, but I just decided to do 1 and 1, and they're also cross out targets because I play cross out. What I love most about the deck is just how much you can tinker and like toolbox different things to play against whatever you're playing against. So I ran 1 and 1 and it worked out really good. When I saw it, I was happy and proceeded to swag on my opponent, or just drew a couple extra cards. I ran 1 Effect Veiler, I ran 1 Ghost Ogre, 1 Droll, 1 Mourner, 1 Nib, and then my tech just like worked out really well. Not only at the YCS, but just like in the deck in general is the DD Crow. There was a game where I actually had this in and I was playing against Malice and I was like, damn, why didn't I side this out? Because like, you know, like you don't want to banish their cards really. One game against Malice, they went for the Link Decoder to extend and I ended up banishing it. It really wasn't expecting a DD Crow, you know what I mean? but it worked out really well. So these are all the one of hand traps that are running. So when we go cross out, we're hitting a multitude of things, or we're playing them to play against our opponent. If you open a handful of hand traps and you draw into another hand trap, it just really sucks. But at least you're drawing like a multitude of different things to play in different scenarios. Only one that we're not really running is Ghost Spell, and I've been thinking about adding it in there, but this is where we're at right now. Now let's get into our spells. Next up on the list, we're running Triple Bonfire. Of course, we got to run Triple Bonfire. Searches our Ice RYZEAL, and it also searches our X RYZEAL. So, you know what I mean? We got to run this card. I'm just really happy that we get to play Bonfire, and I'm so happy it didn't get hit on the ban list. Can't say too much about it, and it looks beautiful in a QCR. Next up on the list, to break boards, and it's just too free, I'm running Triple Droplet. This along the Toy Box engine is just too good and too free. So, you know what I mean? I just felt the need to run it. I never found myself siding this card out. Really like it in here. And if I was running a different variant, I don't know if I would be running it, but because we run it with the toy cards and just sending it is just too free. We get to send, and then if we have Toy Box on the field, we send the Soldier. Soldier comes back, searches as an Ice or searches as an X for next turn. It's too broken, man. It's too broken. But yeah, Droplet was too good at the YCS, and I highly encourage trying it out if you haven't already. Can't say too much more about it. Next up on the list, we played 3 of this broken card. Whenever I have Crossout Designator in my hand, I feel safe in all my plays. I strongly stand behind this card. I was recommended not to play it, but I just feel like it's too good. You could cross out their crossout. If you're going in the mirror, you could cross out any one of your RYZEALs to shut off other like things, you know what I mean? It's just, it insulates so many plays, especially if you're running one of every hand trap. So no matter what deck you play against, you're gonna have like something to fight against it. Never sided it out. Next up on the list, this broken card. If you open up 2 of these, like, it's still good because it's a soft once per turn, and you can go full-blown like combo off of this card alone. Some people don't want to deal with this card, so they'll waste the Ogre on it. Sometimes I'll activate it, and then my opponent will just preemptively do something. I'm like, okay, cool. Activate another one, or I already had the Soldier in hand, so I really didn't care if this got popped, or just search another one. A lot of my opponents forget the effect that once per turn, if you declare an attack, I can send a face-down spell, a trap, and destroy that attacking monster. That will also trigger your toys, so it gets you going in that way as well. So this card is just broken. I mean, some of my opponents really hate it when I play it, but I love Toy Box. It saved me a couple games too. Next up on the list for the RYZEAL spells, I am running double RYZEAL Cross and then 1 RYZEAL plugin. Originally I was running 1 of these, but in testing I realized that 2 is needed because I'm going through so much of my RYZEAL cards that I just need something to recur them. And then whenever this got banished or sent to grave, it really sucks. So having a second one really helped. I don't play the Desires. I hate that card. I tried it out. It was too many times where it just banished cards that I needed or felt like I didn't want to get banished. So I'm just opting to run 2 cross. It works out really good. When I see it sometimes, yes, it can be annoying if you open this with a bunch of hand traps because you can't really do anything, but that's Yu-Gi-Oh, you know what I mean? But I'm like constantly tinkering with the deck and making different changes in plays. So, and then the 1 plugin was just really good. Of course, like you got to run it or you don't. Some people didn't run the plugin, but I just felt like it was a monster reborn. When you go for game, you can just put on extra damage. I ran it and it was just really good. Next up on the list, I played the 1 call by. This card was too good. I see some people side it, but I like having it in the main because it stops that draw. Not only do you have your call by, you have your cross out. So if you're open call by and cross out, it's like, yo, I'm going off this turn. I'm setting up that board. I'm like gaining that advantage, you know? So that's why I decided to run that. And lastly on the list for spells, a card that I've been really loving and trying out, Final Bringer of the End Times. I almost want to play 2 of these. This card is so good because when you go into your duo play or just any one of your RYZEALs and then, you know, it tries to get impermed, veilered or something like that, something that just is trying to stop that play from going off, you can just drop this and target the monster and target 1 card they control, pop it. You can also like just get rid of some cards that you just don't want, whether it be a toy soldier. You're going to get off with this card. So I basically just play this card as like a trade 1-for-1, and then like it just allows me to just go off and get certain cards off the board. If you have the cross on board, you can also just, the monster that you sent, you can also just put that card back in your deck and draw a card off of it. So this is a card that I encourage you guys to try out. I'm actually thinking about taking out the 1 soldier and then playing 2 of these. So I don't know yet, but definitely try this card out. You probably will really like it, like I do. But that's it for the spells. Really been loving this lineup. Things are subject to change, but is what I'm playing right now. So yeah. Next up on the list, I am running triple infinite impermanence. This is all I decided to run for the traps. I was running the RYZEAL plasma hole, but I felt like in testing this card just didn't do enough, and I really hated drawing it. When I drew it, it was cool sometimes. If it was a spell, it would have been a lot better, but you know, it's there. I see some people run this card with the Trap Tricks with Flesia with the Gravedigger's Trap Hole, but personally, I just felt like I don't want to draw either one of these cards. And then if I do draw either one of these cards and then I have this card in my extra deck, I just feel like it's not doing a lot. That's why I didn't run it. Not saying that they're bad cards, but in such a fast-paced deck, I don't really want to draw cards that I have to set too much. Even Imperm gets a pass because you can play it if you draw it. You get what I'm saying? So that was my like reasoning for not running these cards. But if you like them, run them. You know what I mean? To each his own, you know? That's about it for the main deck. Let's go ahead and get into the extra and the side deck. So first up on the list for the extra deck, we're running Double Detonator. This card is too broken. His first effect reads, when your opponent activates a card effect, you could detach one material from this card, target a card on the field, and destroy it. So you can destroy whatever you want. That effect is crazy, and then the crazier part about it is you can activate it multiple times in the turn. It's not a once per turn effect. And you can activate it multiple times in a chain, which is just crazy. It also has the effect that when it's special summoned, you can attach a monster from your graveyard to this card. And that's also good for monsters that activate when they're sent. Typically, you'll attach the aggregator and then you'll send that. But I've seen people in other variants attach a toad, send the toad, etc., etc. You guys will see that variant. His last effect reads that if any XYZ monsters would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you could detach one material from this card once per turn and save them. This card also just saves your board from board breakers, etc., etc. But yeah, man, Detonator is crazy broken. Next up on the list, we're running 2 Dual Drive. This card is also fairly broken. It also has the same effect as Detonator to attach when it's special summoned. The only difference is this one only allows you to attach a RYZEAL monster. Also, for each material that it has, your opponent's monsters lose 100 attack and your monsters gain 100 attack for each material. Those 2 effects are broken. And then its other effect is you can detach 2 cards from this card and then search 2 RYZEAL cards from your deck. Typically, you'll search the RYZEAL Cross and then the RYZEAL plugin. Sometimes I find myself searching a RYZEAL monster that I don't have, like one of the pieces that I don't have. Also, detaching with this effect is not cost. So if your opponent negates it, the materials stay. Next up on the list, I played 1 Typhon and 1 Zeus, but there's times where I've gone into Excite on Night, blew up the board, attacked, and then main phase 2, even though they didn't take any damage, I dropped the Zeus behind it. Zeus with some hand traps is just sometimes game breaking for your opponent and they can't really do anything. On top of that, you already just blew up their board with Excite on Night. So shit is crazy. Next up on the list for the rank 4s, I ran the 1 Excite on Night. I run the 1 Castel because I am playing the Harpy's Featherstorm in the side, so I just felt like that combination is too good. This being able to spin back a card, sometimes you don't want certain things going to graveyard because they trigger in graveyard. Next up, I played the Dugaris the Timeless. Man, this has 3 broken effects that you can utilize at any time. You have this card and a Detonator on board, you can make the Detonator a 6k beater. This and Detonator is already 7200, which is crazy. And then if you go Dugaris with this card, you activate this effect to double this attack. This can attack twice. That's even more broken. That being said, make sure you're running full armored Utopic Ray Lancer. It's just too good, and you should be running this card in RYZEAL. It's just too broken. Next up for my rank 4s, I am running the Tornado Dragon. Tornado Dragon is too broken. One of my friends told me to run it. When I'm going into my RYZEAL plays, I found myself dropping the Tornado Dragon first. I'm activating effect on summon because it's a quick effect. Next up on the list, but not least, we had to run the Abyss Dweller. Abyss Dweller won me a game against Fire King because they couldn't activate the Garunix Engrave or the Kirin or any one of those cards that just trigger in graveyard. Next up on the list, I feel like this is a rotatable spot, but I was playing at the tournament the Star Liege Photon Blast Dragon. This card is actually pretty good. It stops your monsters with 2000 or more attack from being targeted by card effects. This is like a flex spot. You could put whatever you want in this spot, but it's a good card, but you don't need it. You get what I mean? And then lastly, we ran 2 Aggregator. First I was running 1, then at the pre-reg I saw people like testing 2 and playing 2, and like when I was watching those games it really came up a lot, so I was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna run 2 Aggregators. That's it for the extra deck. Let's go ahead and get into the side deck. You know we gotta have that very nice token. I'm going to start giving these away on the channel and also selling these. I had a lot of people ask me for one of these tokens at the YCS that have been following the channel, and shout out to everybody that came up to me at the YCS just to say what's up. Appreciate you guys, and I'm looking forward to building the channel more and, like, you know, just building the fan base behind the channel and just what I'm doing here. So for the side deck, I am running triple Artifact Lancia. You know, we play this for Malice. Malice is being heavily played right now. Looks very nice as a QCR, so we play that card. Next up for the side deck, we run the double Perulia that wasn't in the main, and then we run the double Fualos that wasn't in the main as well. I already gave you my reasoning as to why I play 1 and 1. Game 2, depending on what I'm playing against, I might side out the other Fualos, put another Perulia in, and etc, etc. But like I said, this deck is very toolboxy in that way, to where you can like customize it and tinker it to your liking. Next up in the side, I am playing triple thrust. Thrust in this deck is too good because you're able to tinker, you're able to play a lot of cards that are searchable by thrust. Next up, for our 2 thrust targets, we're running the Harpy's Feather Duster. We need a QCR, and then we're running the Ultimate Slayer. I could play 3 of these, but I don't feel the need for 3 if I'm running 3 thrust, and I can search this at any time when my opponent responds to something. It's too good. Being that detonator is so reactive, it turns on that thrust right away. So being able to just search some back row removal for certain decks, or a card to deal with an annoying card on board, is just amazing. Next up on the list for our other thrust targets, we have the 1 evenly matched. We're playing the 1-dimensional barrier, and then we also have the Harpy's Featherstorm. So I like these 3 in here. I don't feel like I need to play too much of one or the other, because when thrust comes up, it's a card that is either going to search you something that you need right away, or something that you're setting up for a play later. This card is just too broken, because just being able to turn off effects for the whole turn, like, is just too good. Why not run it? It's such a power card. Having this behind a Castell, like, it doesn't feel bad at all. Like, when you put these 2 cards next to each other, don't they just make sense? He's about to shoot some shit off. You get what I'm saying? He's about to like go crazy. You know what I mean? That's crazy. And they look good together. QCR and ulti. Very nice. Very nice. So that's gonna do it for the deck profile. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm like really enjoying this deck. This is my favorite archetype. I'm going to continue playing this deck. I'm gonna continue bringing you guys very nice deck profiles of this archetype, and you will see me splashing these cards in a lot of my decks. Almost forgot the 3rd sword. This has been a very nice deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and make sure you drop a comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace. What's up, you guys? This is the combo section of the video. So real quick, I want to show you guys 3 different scenarios that might happen when playing this deck. Let me know how you guys feel about this view. Let's get right into it. So this over here will be our hand. Right here we have a crossout designator, we have an ash blossom, and we have an effect veiler. A lot of the times you'll end up opening up 3 hand traps, or just, a variation of cards, but this is typically what your hand will look like. Up here, like I said before, we have 3 different scenarios that might happen when you're opening up for your first turn. So right here we have Ice RYZEAL and Toy Box, we have Double Toy Box, and then we have Bonfire and Toy Soldier. So without further ado, let's get straight into the combos. Okay, so combo 1, we have Ice RYZEAL and Toy Box. First things first, we're going to activate the Toy Box, and then we're going to set our Toy Soldier and our Toy Tank. Let's move these out the way. Next up, we're going to send the Toy Soldier to special summon Ice RYZEAL. Toy Soldier will now be Chainlink 1. You're going to special summon your Toy Soldier, and then he'll be Chainlink 1 again, and then you're going to search another Ice RYZEAL. Listen, search the Ice RYZEAL, right? Boom. Now, we're going to overlay. Right here, don't forget we have the cross out in hand, and we have an ash, just in case they want to go for Walos or anything like that. And the reason why I put these here is because this is what you'll typically open up. If I didn't mention that before, I'm mentioning it again. So right here, we're going to go for our duo drive. We're going to activate dual drive's effect. Remember, if they impermit or something like that, or ash it, it keeps the material so you don't detach. So we're going to detach, and now we're going to add for dual drive. We're going to get our plugin, and we're going to get our RYZEAL cross. From here, we'll go ahead and activate the RYZEAL cross, and then we'll keep the plugin in hand. Remember, you want to have a RYZEAL monster in your graveyard to resolve the RYZEAL plugin. Now from here, you want to normal summon the Ice RYZEAL, and then special summon the Sword RYZEAL. Sword RYZEAL is going to activate, and you are going to add your X RYZEAL. From here, we can do 2 things. We could either special summon X RYZEAL, sending the aggregator, blanking out the toy box, or we can just overlay these 2, go into detonator, and attach our Toy Soldier. So it really depends on what you want to do. Just make sure that you leave the Ice RYZEAL engraved, so that way you can resolve the plugin if need be. So for me, right here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to overlay these 2, place them up here, and I'm going to go into the detonator. I'm going to activate detonator's effect, and I'm going to attach the Toy Soldier to the detonator. Now, most people wouldn't agree with that, because they would say that you want to special summon the X RYZEAL so you can send the aggregator. But again, to each is his own. You can do this however you want to do it. I just want to show you guys the combo, and we can tweak and refine as we go along, right? So yeah. Next, what I'm going to do is special summon the X RYZEAL now, sending the aggregator. And then I'm going to build my chains. This will be chain link 1, this will be chain link 2, and we're going to use aggregator to target the toy box and blank it out. That's my phrase that I use when I'm turning off a card. I say blanking it out. So we're going to blank it out. With the X RYZEAL, we are now going to search the node RYZEAL. Got that node RYZEAL going. We're going to go ahead and special the node RYZEAL. Then we're going to activate the node RYZEAL, sending the toy tank to special summon the ice RYZEAL. The reason why it doesn't matter now, because you have the cross live and you have the detonator on board already with materials. So you can always detach for cross if need be, and you kept your plug-in. Now from here, if you play Ouroboros or something like that, you can go into it. It's all depending on you and what you play in your extra deck. But from right here, you can go into the Dugaris. So right here, you can just overlay for Dugaris, and being that this is the first turn, you know what I mean? You're not trying to OTK or anything like that, but you can activate Dugaris effect, send these two to grave, and then go ahead and draw 2 cards, boom, boom, and then you can discard one. I would probably discard the bonfire because I just don't need it right now. Now right here, you can set the imperm, you can set your plugin if you want. This is a good way to get going off of just one toy box and a Ice RYZEAL, and look at the board that you ended with. So with the first combo, this is the board that we were able to achieve. We have 3 hand traps in hand. We have a imperm that we drew off of the Dugaris, and we have the detonator here, the cross, the dual drive, and we have an X tier as an extra body just for next turn. I'm pretty sure you can find something else to do with that body because we have the plug-in. You know what I'm saying? We could special summon back and summon more things, but for right now, this is good for a first turn, I believe. Yeah, let's go ahead and get into combo 2. Also, if you guys see anything that can be done differently to extend even more, by all means, please feel free to, drop a comment or just speak on the combo, etc., etc. These are plays that I just sit here and tinker with and just see what I can come up with. So this was combo 1. All right, so for our next combo, we have 2 toy boxes. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to activate the toy box, and then we're going to activate the effect, and we're going to set our toy tank and toy soldier. Next, you're going to activate the second toy box, activating its effect to pop both cards. You can just pop one if you want and save one for no RYZEAL, but you can pop 2 right now and just put 2 bodies in grave. Next, both cards are going to activate, chain link 1, chain link 2. You're going to special both cards back. From there, another chain is going to start with toy soldier, chain link 1, and then you are going to add the Ice RYZEAL. From here, you have options. You can either normal summon Ice RYZEAL, or you can overlay these 2, go into your duo drive and go for that play because we have the cross out designator in hand. From here, you have a bunch of different lines you can do. What I would personally do is I would just go straight into the duo drive because we have the designator. So we special the duo drive. We're going to activate duo drive's effect to add. If they do anything, we have the cross out designator right here. Don't forget. We're going to go for our RYZEAL cross and our RYZEAL plugin. You don't always have to go for these 2, but these are typically like the most common things that people go for. From here, we'll activate our RYZEAL cross, and then we still have the plugin. From here, we'll normal summon the Ice RYZEAL, activating its effect to special summon. And then we will bring out our Sword RYZEAL, and then activate its effect to add. Here, we're going to go ahead and add our X RYZEAL. So now this is our hand, this is our field. And from here, we'll now go detonator. Detonator's effect will activate, and then you can attach the toy soldier. From here, we can go into X effect, send the aggregator. We're going to build our chains, chain link 1, chain link 2, and then we're going to use the aggregator to target the toy box and blank it out. And then with X, we're going to add our node. So with the X, we added our node. And now this is our hand. So from here, we can go ahead and special summon the node. We'll just go ahead and overlay here for the Dugaris. We're going to activate Dugaris's effect, sending 2, and then we're going to draw 2. So these are the 2 that we randomly drew. Not bad, not bad. And then we can send a cross out because we already have a cross out in hand. So now we have another Ice RYZEAL that we can still special summon by sending a toy box. We have a RYZEAL plugin, an effect veiler, an ash, and a crossout. And we also have 2 RYZEALs engraved. So if we wanted to, we can really go into the RYZEAL cross, and then we can, put 2 cards back to draw because we already have, you know, a card with materials on it to detach for the cross if they wanted to nib or anything like that. But this is the second combo. See that we got to the same field with just 2 toy boxes. So if you ever open up 2 toy boxes, now you know a play that you could potentially do. And with that being said, let's get over to the next combo. Now for this combo, we opened up Bonfire and Toy Soldier. So there's different ways that you can go about doing this, because you can Bonfire into the ice, set the soldier, and then send the soldier, summon the ice. The soldier goes off, he gets the toy box. Or you can just normal summon Toy Soldier, get the box, go Bonfire, get the ice. But you're searching 2 times, you're more susceptible to draw with 1. But again, we have the cross out in hand because, you know, we have plot armor. So yeah, let's just go ahead and do the Toy Soldier first and then the Bonfire. So first things first, we're going to go ahead and normal summon the Toy Soldier and activate the effect to search. From here, we're going to go ahead and activate the toy box, grabbing the toy tank. So now we're going to set these 2 cards, boom. And then now we'll go ahead and activate our Bonfire, and we'll go ahead and get our Ice RYZEAL. So now this is our hand. So right here, since we normal summon the Toy Soldier, we're going to go ahead and special the Ice RYZEAL by sending the toy tank. The reason why I'm sending the toy tank is because it can special summon itself back and tribute itself to special back another monster. So, you know, we can keep going. So once we send the toy tank, it's going to activate and then it's going to special summon itself. From this point right here, we're going to go ahead and overlay these 2 cards. And then we're going to go for our Duo Drive. We're going to activate Duo Drive's effect to detach. It's going to go through because, like I said, we have plot armor and we have the cross out in hand. To add our RYZEAL cross, and we're going to add our RYZEAL sword. And then we're going to special summon our sword RYZEAL. We're going to activate the effect, and we're going to grab our X RYZEAL. Now from here, we can go X RYZEAL, sending the aggregator because we want to attach, build our chain link 1, chain link 2, targeting. And we're going to get another Ice RYZEAL. Now from here, we're going to go ahead and overlay these 2 for our detonator. Detonator's effect is going to activate, and then we're going to attach the aggregator. Here you can do this combo a little bit differently. The whole point is I just wanted to show you what you can do with a variation of cards. You know, you can have follow-up, you could have summoned this in defense position. There's a bunch of ways that you can sequence this, but this is just me just showing you, you know, a little combo that I've been working on or just like playing with. Also been thinking about running Ouroboros in the extra deck, so that way when I have 3 bodies on field, at least I can drop a body that can rip a card from your opponent's hand or, you know, do something like that. But yeah, man, I hope you guys enjoyed the combo video. If you guys have any more dope combos or plays that, you know, you want me to check out or just, you know, that I'm not aware of, by all means, feel free to shoot me a message right up under the video, and I respond to everything. I read everything. So appreciate you guys for watching. This has been another very nice combo video. Peace, love, and pickle juice. And man, Team RYZEAL, we out here. You know what I mean? Peace.